Good evening, children of the Most High. This is your brother Chukwemeka. So today I just want to take time to talk about family unity. Because these troubling times that we've entered, one thing that will help everybody is if we are united as a family. Some of this were mentioned in my video that was recently taken down. I apologize for those who didn't get to see the video. But we know that this channel, ever since we've been bringing out the truth to children of the Most High here, this channel has been tracked. There are people who parade here claiming to be Igbos, claiming to be children of the Most High like us, but are here trying to limit any information we put out, especially against the imposters that stole our identity. So that's why our video was taken down. So, but we're here. We thank God for the opportunity to communicate with the congregation, and we pray that everything will be fine with us. So I want to talk about family unity today. Just the past few months, I've seen 3 families, 3. Not that I heard of. These are things that I witnessed. 3 families that completely disintegrated. I remember when I was in primary school, there was a priest, an Irish priest, that was a teacher in that school, and he also a priest. And he said something that was intriguing to me. At that time, I think I was like 8 or 9 years old. He said that we Africans have a lot to learn from the Europeans. We have a lot to learn. However, we must not learn family life from the Europeans. That their family life sucks. Their rate of divorce is just atrocious. Their marriages is just a joke. I remember he said that then, and it stayed with me. Which makes me wonder why everybody would do traditional wedding and then do white wedding. It just doesn't make sense. And it's something I never did anyway. But our people have adopted the white man's rate of divorce, rate of separation, as if it's fun. What's fun about being alone and lonely? So in one of these situations that happened just close to my house here, a neighbor of mine, it's an Igbo woman, living in her house with about 3 or 4 kids. And we've always wondered where the father of the kids are, but we don't really poke news, so we didn't ask the question. One night, it turns out, brothers and sisters, that this lady, if I can call her that, took these children. The father of the children was abroad, hustling for money for the family, like so many men are. And one night, this woman just took the children and ran away from their home, where they have their own house. The man has paid for them to live in for the next 3 or 4 years. She ran away there, took some desirable furniture, and brought them to my neighborhood in a place that, wasn't as posh as where the husband has prepared for them. She ran away with the husband's money, and she even went to the extent of trying to change the children's name. The man came back from Obodo, came back from abroad, and was looking for his family. He couldn't find his family. The woman was not picking the call. He was just roaming around until he was told that by some people who happened to see the woman that she lived here. And so he came that day, and they were struggling, the children and everything. The kids were so happy to see their father, but the mother does not want them to associate with the father. And this man was crying like a baby in front of everybody there. What has he done to the wife that the wife would just pack up and leave? The only thing, brothers and sisters, the only thing this woman said the man did was that he was now around. It's not that he ran away. It's not that he derelict on his duties. He still kept the family together. He still fended for the family. He was just looking to get a visa abroad, a kind of a work permit, which took longer than he anticipated because of the coronavirus. And that was why this woman left. And then I remember, because we were trying to settle the matter, it was very noisy. So a lot of neighbors came together. The woman was just boasting that my mother raised me. The woman was just screaming that my mother raised me and my sibling without a man, without a father. I can do the same thing. And in fact, we even called the mother to beg with the woman, to make sense with the woman. And right there on the phone, the mother was screaming, my daughter does not need a man. My daughter can go on her own. And the woman was saying the same thing, that she doesn't want to stay with the man again. And that's understandable. I don't care what the issue is. If you don't want to stay with the man, that's fine. But you don't get to choose who stays with your kids. You cannot adjudicate a separation and allocate the children to yourself. And the man was just like, what have I done? What exactly did I do wrong? Every month he will send money to them. And I know parents who live with their family that don't give them money every month. I know that. I know men that don't do that. And this man, right there in front of the whole neighbor, everybody was just looking at the woman. And the woman kept on saying, my mother did it, I can do it. Is it a competition with your mother? Are you competing with your mother? Just because your mother raised you and your siblings without your father doesn't mean that you should live that way. Do you think it was fun for your mother? And seriously, okay, your mother also fought the Biafra war. Why don't you go and start fighting somewhere? I mean, go and fight Boko Haram. Your mother also trekked without taking public transport. Ngwa, enter road and trek from here to Nanka. What is going on? Brothers and sisters, I don't want to heap family separation on ladies. Of course not. There are so many family separation that is orchestrated by the males. But brothers and sisters, please be careful of who you marry. Both the man and the woman, be careful of who you marry. Most men end up behaving like their fathers, and most women end up behaving like their mothers. If the mother of your fiancé is the kind of person that will start here and talk all the way to Ijabode, your wife will likely end up that way. There's a lady who refused that her mother will not live with her and her family. Even to come for Mugo, she refused that the mother will not come. And then the mother went to live with one of her sisters, and the wahala that the mother caused in that compound, she told her husband, you see what I was trying to avoid? She knew her mother was just a bundle of wahala. Again, I'm not trying to lay this on ladies or mothers too. There are fathers too who orchestrate this, who don't take care of family and who don't believe in family bond. There are fathers out there who have multiple families. There are those who even come home with their fiancé and intimidate their wives. Brothers and sisters, this is not what you need at this time when the whole world is against us. Things are happening that might exterminate us permanently. We don't need this separation. We need to be together more than ever. Families need to be more united, more than ever. And for those who are claiming that, oh, my mother did it with her and I can do it, my father did it and I can do it. Just because a child grew up under your watch does not mean that you've raised the child. This is the low lot that goes with raising a child. Most children of single parents, they know what their parents are going through. And so whatever they are going through, they won't tell their parents because they don't want to pile it on them. They don't want to pile on the problems they already have. There's this sister I met once here in Lagos, and we were just having a casual conversation. And she told me how her mother raised she and her younger sister alone in Onitsha. And her mother used to have a lot of prayer warriors, all those prayer people from church that come and pray for them, or they'll pray together and fellowship and blah 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 blah. And as she was saying this thing, she just started crying. At the point I was like, what's going on? Is her mother dead? She said no. She's told me that one of those brothers that come to pray with the mother and everything raped her. The brother targeted her, knowing that the mother will be at work and she will be at home, come back from school. So the brother came in to pray. She opened the door as one of the prayerful brothers. And this brother raped her right in her mother's living room. And she couldn't even tell the mother because the mother believes that these brothers are God sent. And to make matters worse, the reason she was crying, brothers and sisters, the reason this little girl was crying was that she later learned that the same guy raped her younger sister. Now, if you ask her mother will say, yeah, I raised my children without a man. I can do it, I can do it. No, you didn't raise those children. Those children were completely abused under your watch and you didn't know. The reason this pained me so much, what happened with my neighbors, was that there was once this lady's children were playing with my children, and I came to take my children back home, it's time for them to do their homework. And these boys were just, the lady's children were asking me a lot of questions, just simple kind of questions that my children would ask. And at the point I was like, where's your dad? They were like, they don't know. I thought maybe their father died, but you will see clearly that they were yearning for a masculine role model in their life. But their mother was thinking she's raising them without a man. They won't tell their mother, no, you are not sufficient. They won't do that. Nobody will want to make their mother feel inadequate. So I was so touched with what happened, especially seeing that man trying to fight for his children. And I told him, look, I'm neighbor to your wife, but I don't care. Go, your children have been kidnapped. Go to court and seek redress. I hope the man does it. This woman was ready to change the car number plate, change everything so that you hide from this man. For what? Just because you want to do what your mother did. Are you in competition with your mother? Is there a trophy somewhere for people who raise their children alone? Brothers and sisters, when you get married, when your wife or your husband begin to join some groups and associations, be very careful. All these fronts, all these daughters of Zion, sisters of mercy, whatever they call themselves, sisters of divine love, those things are dangerous. I remember there was one of my wife's friend that invited her to join one of those daughters of sisters of Ezekiel or whatever they call themselves, and invited my wife to join. So my wife was excited because she saw the ladies that were there and they were all nice and happening babes. I called my wife and said, I don't approve of you going for this meeting or joining this group. And no be small wahala. She quarreled and quarreled and quarreled. I said, look, I just don't approve. You don't need. She was like, she doesn't need my approval. I said, yes, I know you don't, but just know that I don't approve. So she went anyway. And she was asking me, why don't you approve? Why don't you want me to join people and make friends and not be bored at home? I said, look, if there's anything I can do, if I can kill myself so that I don't be bored, I will do it. But these groups you're seeing, they're not really what you think. They're not family-friendly group. So she went in there and joined them for some weeks. And after about 3 weeks, she told me she wasn't going again. I was like, oh, what happened? And she's like, that I shouldn't make fun of her. I said, why would I make fun of her? Just tell me what happened. She's like, she doesn't think they're family friendly. I said, no, they're not. These are feminist groups. That's when I told her, look, these groups you're seeing, they're feminist. They're just hiding under a Christian front. They're a feminist group. They don't give a shit about family. They give a shit about women. They only care about women. They are women-centered, not family-centered. The more you end up being family-oriented, the quicker they throw you to the curb. Be very careful when you begin to join this organization. There was the time when it was rumored that there are association of widows somewhere in Anambra State. I don't know the details. I don't know if it was a movie, but it was rumored to exist. So for a group where for you to join, you must be a widow, which will incentivize people to fast forward their husbands so that they can be widows. These are all satanic organizations in one front or the other. And if a woman is lonely, a woman is feeling unfulfilled in her life, she may just end up joining one of these demons in the name of participating. Anyway, it pained me. I hope the children, everything end up well for them. We should try as much as we can to keep our families intact. If you see yourself quarreling with your husband, it's your husband. You can quarrel with your husband. If you don't quarrel with your husband, who will you quarrel with? Most of the problems that people have in marriage boils down to ego. I need my self-respect. I cannot be pushed around. You cannot control me. Are you a television that you're using remote control for? I need my dignity. What kind of dignity is that? If a man is claiming to have dignity. If I need to kneel down and beg my wife and grovel, I'll do that because it's my wife. If I don't beg her, who will I beg? Most men that do come to claim head of state in their homes, they go and beg their girlfriends for whatever favor they want. So if I can't beg my wife, why can't I humble myself and be one with my wife and my husband? Especially for the sake of the family. We're approaching a time when we really need each other more. And still close to the ones you have. Someone once told me your first wife is your best wife. It may not be the same for everybody, but it's the same for most cases. Be careful who you get married to, and be careful what changes in your relationship. If you guys live in a place or you move to a new place, just be careful. When new people come into your spouse's life, be careful. Most people are not there to make it better, they are there to destroy it. Anyway, may the Most High bless us. Salah.